Oh, didn't turn the sign on, big fella.
Huh?
The sign. Oh, it is. Oh shit, my side's still on.
Oh, it's dead.
Damn. Does it have a charger?
Batteries. Just replace the batteries. Huh. Go get some.
Oh, there's something else.
Ain't there something?
Goddamn sign.
Motherfucking signs.
Dead.
You deader than hell. What's up, man?
Gas prices, freak legs.
I never notice freak legs. I like that. I never notice when gas prices are up because I don't even look. I'm gonna get gas regardless. Like I'm not gonna go across the street if there's like a 2-3 cent difference. So
That's what happens when you got big money.
it only costs like I have a fuel efficient car, so it's like I'm not. Yeah, it's a little different for you because you drive a truck.
I'm just messing with you. I agree.
Yeah, I'm not looking at that shit.
It's just like when people be like, they see me in my truck, they be like, "Oh man, gas is so expensive." I mean, or like it costs so much to fill that up, bro. First of all, nobody that has a truck really cares about. Like we don't buy a truck thinking like, is this gas efficient? Like no, bro. Like especially if it's lifted, bro. Like we don't care about gas, bro. We get like 5
5 gallons to the mile.
5 gallons to the mile, bro. Like we're not thinking about the most fuel. Like we don't care about gas. So why is it that the talking point every time someone sees somebody in a truck? They're like, man, I bet that costs a lot of money to fill it up. I don't look.
I don't know.
I swipe my card and I fill that bad boy and I hop back in my truck and I'm happy. I'm happy that I can drive around in my big truck that jumps over a thing and runs little cars over it. Like, bruh, stop talking to me about gas. It's just, I mean, going back to what you're talking about, I don't pay attention to the gas prices. It's just like that when someone brings me a check at a restaurant.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they bring you a check and people open it and look at it. It's like I asked her a waiter one time she came, gave me a checkbook. I gave her my card. She's like, "You don't want to look at it?" I said, "I mean, can I argue with you about? Or do I have the choice of not paying it?"
I look at it out of just like habit, and there's probably about 2 different instances where I found something wrong with my bill and they had to change it because they charged me for some shit that I didn't have or.
Okay, how much was it that they charged you for?
Oh, I don't know, like maybe $10.
Exactly, like come on, bro. Like I mean, this is how I look at it. If I need to argue $10, I probably shouldn't be eating out. That's how I look at it. Some people
are just like it's 10. I mean, it's only $10, but that's my $10. Some people are like that.
Which that ain't me, big fella. The people bring the card, or I say, "Hey, can I have the check?" They bring the book. I have my card ready, bro. Take it. It's like can I look at it? But oh my goodness, this is more than I expected to be. Hey,
still gotta pay it.
Like I know it say 65, but can you hook me up? Can we negotiate like 40? You know, like
no.
It's like, dude, I don't know, man. I guess but I mean, also it's the same thing as like I look at it like this too as well as like there is the point of checking to see if they charge you for something that you weren't supposed to be charged for. Well, the restaurants that I go to, they already making enough money off of you. They don't need to charge you for something.
Well, I don't think when I called it, I don't think it was like. I don't think she was trying to get one over on me. I think she just fucking fat fingered the touchscreen and accidentally did it. I don't think it didn't seem like nefarious to me.
That was a big word. What is it? Nefarious?
Nefarious. It's like malevolence.
What? See, that's another one.
It's like evil, like ill intention.
Hey Google, nefariance.
No.
This thing said variance.
Yeah, because you put a T in there somewhere. There's no T. It's Nefarious.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah, it's just like ill intentions.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So I took a shit in the Harris Teeter today.
Oh, wow.
No, I have a point to make. I have a point to make. Now, if you're a supermarket and your whole thing is you sell groceries, right? Why do I have this cheap ass toilet paper that's like the width of $1 when you could just go to fucking aisle 9 and grab me some Charmin and put it in here, bro? I was so mad. Like I didn't want to shit in Harris Teeter. I just really had to go, and I was like, I didn't know where else to go. It was either that or CVS. So I went to Harris Teeter, thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, but like I had to like roll it like a spiral, like a because it was like the width of $1. And meanwhile,
as soon as you said cheap ass toilet tissue, I knew where you was going.
I hate that shit, man. Like how much money? Like first of all, how many people are really shitting in Harris Teeter, right? I feel like that's not like a hot, you know what I mean? So I feel like you're probably wasting more money on the logistics of getting this cheap ass shit here shipped, right, and ordering it and all the logistics into that, than it would be just to like go down to aisle 9 and just say, well, one of these fell off the truck, and then just throw it in the bathroom. like just throw it in the bathroom.
It don't work like that.
It could.
I get what you're saying.
I ran a convenience store before. It does work like that.
Especially because Harris Teeter isn't like a cheap.
Exactly. They cut corners in the bathroom.
Maybe they downsizing.
I don't know. That
you should go write a complaint.
I'm about to write my congressman. I'm not. That was not. I was like,
hey, sir. You know, I know you're busy and all, dealing with the vid and stuff.
The vid.
That's more important, but I got a grievance.
Yeah, we gotta talk about this, sir.
What?
Yeah, like to the congressman, we gotta talk about this. Ain't cool.
Yeah, hey, I don't know if you shop at Harris Teeter or not. Probably not, but if you go in the bathroom,
that shit's rough, man. Like, there's some things that you just don't do the cheap route with. Right? There's a lot of things you can get the cheap stuff and be all right, like the generic versions of shit. But you don't go cheap with toilet paper. You don't go cheap with
condoms.
I wouldn't know about that. You know that.
No,
you know that couch I got downstairs?
Nah, no.
You know the couch I got downstairs?
Dude, we're not going there. Dude.
You've seen the couch, right? Is it a pull-out couch?
I don't know.
Does it pull out?
Oh, it's not.
Neither do I.
Oh my goodness.
No, but so toilet paper, tissues, soap, right? These are like the 3 things you just can't go cheap on.
Hold on. I'm still. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. That was hilarious. I don't care what nobody got to say. That was funny. I don't know about that.
I don't.
That was so.
I don't like them things.
Cheers to that. Okay, you said what's the 3 things you said you can't go cheap? Soap,
toilet paper, soap, tissues.
What do you mean, like tissues?
Like you gotta get like Kleenex. You can't get like
you know
what I mean?
Like nose tissues, like
yeah.
I was about to say Kleenex.
No, like Kleenex. You gotta get you can't get like the great value tissues because when you blow it, it's just gonna go right through it. It's like
yeah, I mean definitely for toilet paper. I feel like dude, we're not about to have a whole conversation about taking a dump. No, that's not what we're finna do. I'm X-naying that one. That's disgusting. But
okay.
We definitely should write Harris Teeter because that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
As much as you charge us for groceries.
I've never shopped there.
So why'd you stop there?
It was just the first place I saw.
You said you had to choose.
Yeah. It was either that or CVS, and I was like, I'll go to Harris Teeter because I've heard great things. I thought they were like an upscale place.
Yeah.
Not in the bathroom, they're not.
You had to really go?
Mm-hmm.
Oof, I had one of those before.
It was bad.
I had to go to Food Lion.
Oh, I know that was cheap.
It was that industrial stuff though. That like
sandpaper.
Yeah.
Oof. You poor thing.
It's all good though. I grew up in the struggle, so I built some tolerance back there, bud.
My man got a resilient ass booty hole.
Boom. Hey man, that government toilet paper, the one that come in the green wrapper.
Yeah.
They come in individual. They come in singles.
Yeah.
They don't come in singles. Yeah. Stuff is rough. Raw.
God damn. That's about 400 or 500 grit. So I'm torn, right? Mm-hmm. So like, because I don't like to be a hater, but I also don't like people. Well, not people. I don't like when people make something seem like it's more than it is. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes them feel important or whatever.
Yes.
So like, on one hand, you got these people doing these multi-level marketing schemes, right?
Yeah.
Right. And on one hand, I'm like, hey man, like if you're making money from it, because people do make money off of that. Like you're making money from it, do your thing, chicken wing. Like I'm not mad at you. Mm-hmm. It's not for me, right? Mm-hmm. But then they're like, well, I'm a business owner. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, come on now, let's relax a little bit,
dude.
And then they'll say, well, I filed this, this tax form, and that means I'm a bit. Okay. I hear you. But no, the business owner, the profits stop with you. Like when you own something, like everybody gets their cut of the pie. No one above you gets a cut. Like once the cut gets to you, like that's everything. That's where the buck stops, right? If someone profits off of you, right? Now, unless it's like a business partnership, like if I go into business with you on something, like you have your thing, I have my thing, and we decide to partner up on a project, that's one thing. But still, there's still no one above me that's profiting from that. If there's someone above, if you're making money for somebody else, then you're not exactly a business owner. But then at the same time, it makes you sound like a hater.
Yeah. And first of all, when you're criticizing anything, there's a fine line.
Yeah.
Where you're sort of kind of, you could be considered a hater.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, in that instance, I don't know, man, because any public corporation, the shareholders are technically making money off of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but so here's the thing. Even if as a CEO, you're still going to make money. Where the shareholders, depending on how your stock does, shareholders could lose money.
Yeah.
The CEO is still going to get that check regardless.
Positive.
Right now, he wants the shareholders to make money because the more money they make, then he'll make more money.
Yeah.
But there's a space where the shareholders can lose, but the CEO is still going to win. You see what I'm saying? And you get a say, and that's only publicly traded companies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, it boils down to this, which is a big thing in all aspects of life. People think they're more important than they actually are.
The only thing about that is that's subjective, right? Important to who? You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay,
like this stranger, that stranger doesn't. And I saw here as T.A.T.U, I made awkward eye contact with coming out the bathroom. That stranger don't mean nothing to me. But I'm sure to someone that person's very important. So like it's subjective, right? It depends on who you ask and who gets to determine, and by what metric do you determine how important somebody is.
Okay, some people are important or very important to people, but that level of importance has a ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, because there are some like, obviously Elon Musk means more to the world than I do. Like so there's levels to it. I get it.
There's levels to it.
Yeah, but it's also at the same time it's kind of hard to quantify it. I'm a data guy, so okay, what's the rule, right? How How do you identify it? When do I know when my importance increases? What metric am I looking at? And that doesn't exist. So it's hard for me to like rattle with that concept of being more important than you think you are. You know what I mean?
I think people. So there's situations where people know they're important. That isn't the time when people are pushing to be important. It's those times in which they're not very sure that they're important, or their importance is not solidified, in which they're trying to push their importance. I know I use importance a lot just now, but you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, if I know I'm important over here, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna try to prove that I'm important because I already know them. But if I'm not sure that I'm important over here, that's when I'm trying to push and show that I'm important, or insert myself in a way.
I was talking to a dude about painting. He's got a career like decades in the game of like corrosion control and painting and shit like that. And he's telling me about like down to the chemistry of it, right? Mm-hmm. And and it bothered me. Like I felt myself get irritated when he referred to paint. He didn't call it paint. He called it a coating system. And at first I'm like, bro, it's paint. Like it's the fuck you talk. It's paint. But at the same time, if you're gonna have a guy whose career is in painting and corrosion control, you want that guy to take it that seriously.
Yes.
So like, on one hand, I'm like, I'm glad you are who you are and you're doing what you're doing. But like, I just remember catching myself feeling like I do that a lot. Like I always catch myself feeling something, and I'll be like, "What is that? Why do I feel that way?" You know what I'm saying? So he said coating system, and I was like, "You mean fucking paint? Like what are you talking about?"
I'm glad you brought up that story because I mean that's something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. Is that people, if they're not a part of a system or a part of a organization or a part of an industry, therefore they don't really fully understand the intricacies of that. Mm-hmm. They try to lessen the importance of it. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you're not an artist and you don't really understand what it takes to be an artist or what all incorporates involving being an artist or a successful artist in some way, form or fashion, you shouldn't downplay being an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's so many people that do that, like with like podcasts or YouTubers. Like I mean, I think that's the biggest thing that I see it in, or like IG influencers, or I just watched a documentary about OnlyFans creators. Like people, like you're not a part of that industry. So if you're not a part of that industry, I feel like you shouldn't be speaking on that industry. That's just my opinion. I think we touched on that on one of our episodes too when I was talking about sports analysts.
Yeah, we had that conversation offline.
Oh well, I feel the same way like sports analysts. Like, bro, if you're not a professional athlete, you shouldn't be speaking on that topic.
Yeah,
like there's certain aspects of it that you can speak on, like a team's performance or something like that. But if you're talking about that the everyday life and struggle of a person in that industry was music or whatever, if you haven't lived that lifestyle, then you shouldn't be speaking on it because you don't know what it takes to live that lifestyle. And I think so many people try to which goes back to my point of people trying to be more important than you. Like no one cares about your opinion, bro. Like there's maybe some people that care about it, but for the most part, no one cares. After you die, after you're gone, no one's gonna be sitting thinking like, oh, I wonder what they would have to say about this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For the most part. Because it's like, I don't know, man. That drives me up a wall, bro, that people try to speak on something that they've never experienced.
I think they should be able to speak on it, but I think it should be, the listener needs to know that you should just take this with a grain of salt. And the reason I say that is, I'm not saying that they need to be, that their word needs to be taken as gospel or anything.
which happens a lot.
It does, but my point is, I think you should still be able to express. Like, you need to be able to express your opinions because that's how you. No matter what it is, like that's how you work through, find out which ideas are good and which ideas are bad. Like you got to be allowed to, voice an opinion that's completely retarded, and then that way, because if you just keep it to yourself, like it's like, you know, people always say, "Oh, I don't care if I fit in or not." You do,
yeah,
like,
you do,
you do, right?
Yeah,
and because there's a social contract, right? So like, if I walk into a room with someone like you who's known me for a very long time and I just start acting a certain way, right? That you've never seen me act before. But in my mind's like, nah, I'm this today. I'm this, right? I decide who I am. And I start coming in here like maybe I fucking paint my nails black, right? And just get a mohawk and just start talking like gnarly dude, right?
Yeah.
You're going to look at me like, the fuck are you doing? Right? You're going to give me that feedback. And that social contract, that's you fulfilling your obligation to social contract to say, hey, bro, no, that's not you. You know what I'm saying? So, and you don't get that if you're not allowed to voice your opinion about something. And you don't learn, like, some people may voice their opinion about something, and only because they voice their opinion, even if it was stupid and ill-informed, somebody else comes in and corrects them and says, well, no, you're not considering X, Y, Z. Now that person, because they voiced a stupid opinion, learned something about that.
Okay, I agree with that. I agree that everyone should have the free space to say whatever they want to say when they want to say. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I guess I was thinking it, but
yeah,
obviously I didn't say it.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, okay, yes, everyone has the right to say whatever they want, do whatever they want, when they want, how they want to do it, right? But I think what people fail to realize and fail to acknowledge in that moment of saying what they want to say is that just because you're saying it doesn't make it the right thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Or doesn't make it the gospel. It doesn't make it the rule book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's where that's a headspace that a lot of people come from is that, oh, I'm saying this, and I'm saying this because I want you to believe it. And I want you to think that. When it's like, bro, like, no, like, okay, you have your way of thinking, I have my way of thinking. That is what it is. We can have a conversation. Conversation is great. Transparency and transfer of thoughts is great. I welcome that. But some people, bro, is like what they say, it is what it is. This is the way it should be. This is what the truth is. Like, come on, bro. Like, you're not that important. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
Like, that's why that's why with me when I say a lot of stuff, I'm like, I like to be specific and say this is just my opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to like advice, if someone comes to me for advice, I'm like, hey, this is my opinion. This is the headspace that I come from. This doesn't mean this is the right way. This doesn't mean this is the way that you have to go. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no rule book to anything, bro. When it comes to life, there's no rule book. Everybody's just learning and going whichever way they feel best. And who am I to tell you that your thought process of feeling what's best is wrong? Like, there's no rule book that says that, unless it's like there's a law, obviously. But
right.
If there's no law, then whatever code that you stand on, like, okay, I may not agree with that code, but that's your code. Like, I can't tell you that your code is wrong. And so it's like I feel like a lot of people don't realize that, hey, your truth doesn't have to be everybody else's truth. Your opinion doesn't have to be everybody's opinion. It's not about pushing your opinion or your thought process on someone else. It's just like, you should look at it as just having the space and looking at the beauty of having two thought processes and just putting it in the air and just like, okay, almost like agreeing to disagree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You mentioned when you give advice. I stopped giving advice. For whatever reason, there's a lot of people that come to me, right? And that they've asked me for advice. I don't know why people
come to me. Nothing about my face says, hey, come talk to me.
But they're like, I stopped giving advice and I just started asking questions.
Yes, to let them work through it themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, because.
But some people, because they have such insecurities, they think you're trying to belittle them when you ask them questions.
No, and I know, and especially when you ask them basic questions, but I'm being very genuine. Like,
yes.
Like, what is your goal?
Yep.
Like, what do you want to achieve?
Yep.
Okay. What are the things that get in the way?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Right? How does this make you feel? Which risk is, at what point is the risk too great? How much risk are you willing to take? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I do that not to absolve myself of any accountability, right? I don't, it's not that I don't want to, give you advice and then you go do it and you fuck up and now I don't want to be blamed, right?
That's why I do that.
Yeah.
That's part of why I do it. I don't give
But the
advice.
reason I do it is because I learned, and I learned this going through therapy, that allowing somebody else to make a decision on something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's good or bad, like whether
Mm-hmm.
it was the right decision or the wrong decision. If they make the right decision, now they feel empowered because they made the decision.
Yeah.
If they don't have to, it's not gonna be like, oh, man, I would have made it without Bruce. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want somebody to feel that way. So like, but then again, if it's the wrong decision,
you have nobody to blame but yourself.
So you can take accountability, and there's real power in that, right? And you're not blaming somebody else.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I'm always, open to listen, talk to somebody, and help them work through some things. But if I've started, instead of saying, because sometimes I feel like the answer is just obvious.
Obviously, yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like, something like, my head hurts. Well, stop banging it against the wall, right? Like, sometimes it feels that obvious to me, but instead of doing that, I just ask questions. Let them work through it.
And it's part of it for me. One, what's obvious to me or what's obvious to us, isn't so obvious to someone else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to what I always say. There's a difference. There's a reason why there's CEOs and employees. Mm-hmm. And then two, I've had different encounters where you tell someone something 1,000,001 times, and it's not until it clicks in their own head. Like, hey, maybe I should stop banging my head on the wall.
Yeah.
That will keep my head from hurting. Even though you've told them every day, dude, stop banging your head on the wall.
Yeah.
Stop banging your head on the wall. Stop banging your head on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's not until that person makes that decision within themselves. So it's like, me, why? I'm not going to waste my... Because at the end of the day, people don't do what they want to do. So I just let people do what they want to do. And then, lastly, is what you said wasn't for you, but it's for me. Is that I don't want, if it goes wrong, to you be like, bro, you told me to do that. Nah.
Yeah.
Because that's so easy for people.
Yep.
Like, people
Yeah.
don't like to look at themselves as the issue. They don't like to point out, like, hey, I'm the person that's messed up in this situation. I'm the person that's made these decisions. It's always so easy, like, well, they did this, or they didn't do this, or, you know what I'm saying? It's so much easier for people to do that, bro. And it's like,
I used to be like that. Like, every time I would get in, because I used to get in a lot of trouble all the time. And I would always, like, look and be like, man, if this person wasn't such a dick, I wouldn't be here. Or if this person, didn't do that. But then, over time, I think it was jail. It's probably jail. At some point it clicked, and, like, I found, like, real peace in being able to take accountability. Like, and to the point where, like, I might even try to steal some of yours. Like even if I'm not accountable for it, I'm still might try and justify some way in my mind.
What did I do?
What every single thing that I did that contributed to this.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah.
Because there's real power in that. So, like, that doesn't mean that it's easy to change everything overnight and make all the right decisions. But when you do fuck up and you do find yourself in a rut, and you look in the mirror, well, at least, a lot of people don't even know what the problem is. At least you can identify the problem, and that's the first step to fixing it.
I self-reflect a lot. Like, to be very specific, I self-reflect at least once a day. Okay, I look at today, what could I have done better yesterday? Or what could I have done better earlier today? You know what I'm saying? And because at the end of the day, the only thing you can do is control you, right? You can't control other people. You can't control other people's actions. So it's like, why bog yourself down on like, oh, we got in a disagreement. Well, they said this. Well, I can't control what you say, but what did I do in response?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I can control. If you
Mm-hmm.
say this, okay, how do I respond to that?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, like I said, I think most people don't have the self awareness in a lot of situations. Like a lot of people don't even have the self understanding of themselves. They don't understand what ticks them off, what makes them happy, what makes them mad, what what are they, what I like to ask people all the time, like what are your pet peeves? Like most people don't even know what their pet peeves are. You know what I'm saying? Most people
Chewing
don't.
with your mouth open. It's definitely the number one on my list.
I think people are trying to control me.
Yeah.
That's my
Hearing people chew with their mouth open makes me want to slap babies. Like I hate
Jesus,
that
dude.
shit. Like that's
Babies?
that's how much it bothers me.
Babies.
Like I obviously wouldn't, but like, but no, that shit like it infuriates me.
But most people don't take the time to like. They always like so easy to blame other people. It's like, bro, worry about you.
Yeah.
I don't think enough people stay in their own lane and just worry about them.
Yeah.
And like everybody else just. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, I feel that. So you said there was some feedback you got?
Oh, so I had a question for you.
Okay.
Would you rather know when your end of time is coming, or not, and why?
Ooh. That's a good one. Damn. So I'm a curious motherfucker. Like I want to know everything. So like my knee jerk reaction is like, yeah, let me know. So I know how much time I got, right? But knowing me, back to this self awareness and reflection, I'm gonna say I don't want to know, because if I do know, then all the shit I need to do, I'm just gonna put off because I still got time. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I still got time, and then like, I'm not dying until I'm 79, so I still got. I'm not gonna repair this relationship, or I'm not gonna save up this money, or I'm not gonna make this investment, or I'm not gonna take this risk because I'll do it in 20 years because I'm good until XYZ. So I think the uncertainty of life is one of my primary motivators. So you take away that uncertainty, and there's like no sense of urgency for me. So I think my knee-jerk reaction would be to say, yeah, let me know. In fact, like all my like gamer tags and email addresses, you always see 2064 on it. It's because when I was 13, I did a death calculator. And I'm going to die in 2064 according to that death calculator when I was 13. It just stuck with me. So I've always used 2064. But nah, my gut reaction would be like, yeah, let me know. But after some thought, I think I would be like, no, the wiser thing, the path to a more fulfilling life would be to keep that uncertainty.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I would rather know because it would cause me to grind harder. You know what I'm saying? It would cause me, okay, I know I don't, and it's not so much. So you said like if you're 70, you got till you're 79. I'm thinking like, okay, if I only got till I'm 35, that would mean, okay, all right, I gotta do this now. You can't. I'm already not a person that I put off a lot of stuff, but I think if I knew I had a certain amount of time to get stuff done, it's like, okay, boom, I got to take advantage of this 24 that I got. You know what I'm saying? I got to really take advantage. Like, I got to push away my fears of losing this and losing that. I only got this much time. And like, every day that I don't push towards it, I'm just wasting. I'm not capitalizing on it.
So I agree in the sense that it would have the same effect on me if my number was 35 or
So
40.
it just depends on what number.
Right, but if I'm, I really want to hit triple digits.
No, I don't.
I do.
I don't.
I do. I just want to be old and cantankerous and sit on my porch in a rocking chair with a cup of coffee and just cuss out kids in the street. That's all I want to do.
Honestly, I would like to go. I don't want to be here and like can't take care of myself.
Well, absolutely. Like I don't
And,
want.
like,
I don't want to
like
be
my
here from a
mom-
burden on somebody else.
and my mind is going.
Yeah.
I can't do the things that I want to do when I want to do it. Because I told you, dude, I'm big on doing what I want to do when I want to do it. So if I can't do that, I'm good. Like,
No, yeah, no, I
put
agree.
me down like a bad dog, babe. I'm a horse. I can't raise. Put me down, baby.
Yeah,
I ain't no
hear
good
you.
to nobody.
I hear you. But I don't think like when I think of my later years, I don't envision myself like that.
Well, you keep smoking cigarettes.
I know I have grandparents that smoked since they were like 13, and they were like good on their own into like their late 80s. So
That ain't triple digits.
no, it's not. But they
Well,
started smoking at 7. Fucking 8, 9, 10, like as kids,
But they was smoking different.
and they were smoking like 3 packs a day.
It was better.
I don't know if I'm gonna be smoking for long. I heard they're fucking making menthols illegal.
It's good.
No, it ain't. Let people do what they want.
Facts.
Like I get like I.
Man,
But yeah.
they get me riled up every time, bro. Just let people do what they want, man. Even if you don't agree with it, just like I give you shit about smoking cigarettes just because it's funny and it's an inconvenience to me when we go out and they're like, all right, bro, I'm gonna smoke. Now I gotta sit here.
It's
Now I
not
gotta sit here by
an
myself.
It's
Yes,
not an
it is.
inconvenience.
Now I gotta sit here by myself.
For 3 minutes.
No, if you're drunk, it's longer than that because
That's fair.
You stumble
yeah.
out, and you stumble to get your cigarette out, and it's a little bit longer.
Okay, 5
But
minutes.
at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, Bruce, I can't fool with you because you smoke cigarettes." Bro, I'm not the one smoking. I don't care what you do. I don't care where you do it.
Yeah.
People, that.
No,
irks my
but
nerves.
now
Irks
see,
my
but
nerves.
you would have a problem if I just decided to light up in your house.
No, I would not.
If I lit up a cigarette in your house,
I wouldn't care. What does that have to do with me?
it's your living space, and I'm polluting the air inside your
my
living
goodness.
space.
Everything's a pollution.
Yeah, I feel like cigarette smoke is just extra.
No, it's not.
It's like saying, well, I got shot once, you can shoot me 100 times, it's okay.
That's not the same. That is, really? Shooting. You want to equate shooting and no? It's not.
They both kill.
You can't make one kills instantly. Cigarettes not gonna kill you instantly.
Oh man. Yeah, man. I think it's that like I'm a very big proponent of like letting people do what they want, but my thing is, you should be able to do and say what you want up until the point where it affects someone else's ability to do and say what they want.
Yeah.
As long as you're not encroaching on that, and as
if
long
it-
as you're
if it-
not forcing, like,
If I wanted to,
it would be one thing if I forced you to smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's different.
But that's you can't force somebody to smoke it. Like if you can force somebody to smoke a cigarette, I don't think that's a knock on you. That's a knock. They need to look at themselves. Like, bro, you're a grown behind person.
That's a bad analogy. The point I'm trying to make is like, yes, do what you want to an extent, but you know, just because I don't agree with something doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to do it. But at the same time, while you should have the freedom to do it, I should have the freedom to like remove myself from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like obviously if you're
like if you're about to shoot up some crack and I just don't want to be around that, like, hey bro, I don't think it's a good idea, but you do you. I'm gonna head out. You know what I mean? Like, don't bring that shit in my house.
For me, I think people do that because it's like a temptation type of thing. Like me, I don't care if let's just stay on this topic of crack. If someone wanted to smoke crack around me, like I wouldn't care. Most people don't want crack around them because they'd be tempted to smoke the crack too. It's like, bro,
no. So like,
what?
So I hear you. Like, so it would make for a great story, right? Like the one time, we'll save it for the next episode, but the one time we tased a bum outside of IHOP at 3 a.m.
What?
He got paid very handsomely for it. So
We're done.
but no,
I don't want to talk to you no
my
more.
point is,
you taste a crackhead.
Like outside, it wasn't crackhead. He was homeless. It's just there's just a fine line of like, you know, not encroaching on someone else's freedom of choice, but also not letting it, you know, standing up for your space. Like if I'm outside, if we go to the club and some dude starts doing crack, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna laugh, right? But if I'm in my home, right, and I invite someone into my home and they just pull out a pipe and start get the fuck out of my house. I don't want that shit in my house. Like that's just not no. Like I have a certain like, I don't know if you would call it like an energy or what, or like a mood that I like to keep my house in. Mm-hmm. And crack is counterintuitive to that. It just doesn't fit in the picture.
But I mean, I feel like at that point, if it's an energy thing, at least for me, because I'm big on energy. I want to associate myself with a crackhead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like right. if I feel that passionate about it.
Well, maybe they're just trying it, right? Like I don't know.
No.
Just try it outside the doors of my house. That's all I'm saying.
I'm good on that. If you want to try crack, bro, I ain't fooling with you.
Alright, that's fair.
There ain't nothing but a crackhead that I like. That's a train. I don't know. That's a train of thought that
it's just cocaine.
Okay. But I don't know.
Like I know some people that done coke and they're like good people.
I know people that do coke right now.
Yeah.
Probably. What time is it? Probably doing some coke right now as we speak. They probably watching episode 4 or 5. Doing a lot of coke, like ooh, that's a good conversation.
Well, this is.
But if it's that deep for me, then I just don't surround myself with that person.
Yeah.
Well, that's ended on Craig.
It's a good one.
How we went from cigarettes to crack,
bro? We went from shitting in the Harris Teeter to crack.
I guess that's sort of kind of the same, huh?
I guess maybe in a way.
What they used to say when we was in school, crack is whack. You must ain't never tried it. hey, what Kevin Hart used to say about his daddy? Listen here, Jack.
All right, episode 6 in the books.
T.A.T.U.
Nah, bro. Bang bang.
Crack is whack. Listen here, Jack. These lights hot, man.
What's that?